52% of American women aged between 18 and 45 are running OnlyFans creator accounts. What is it that leads modern and apparently liberated women to go down this particular track in life?
So at the societal level, it's the false ideas of sexual liberation offered by a lot of feminists, which I've written about at length, which tell women lies about the nature of sexual liberation and the desirability of foregoing monogamy and commitment and so on. I mean, this is all stuff that I've written about at length. I think on the personal level, I think it's vanity and impulsiveness that leads to such a high proportion of young women being on OnlyFans. I think that the vanity comes from the wish to be seen as attractive by men, and attracting male sexual attention gives a sort of sugar rush of excitement and self-esteem, which is particularly attractive if you are low on self-esteem. The impulsiveness comes from that our OnlyFans is so often sold, I think falsely, as a means to make easy money. The vast majority of people on OnlyFans don't make much in the way of money at all. There's a very intense Pareto distribution on OnlyFans where most people make practically nothing, and then there are a few very high earners who make all the money and become famous, and obviously promoted by OnlyFans because that it invites more content creators to join the platform, so that they're given this promise of, oh, maybe you'll become vastly wealthy by doing this easy job. And a lot of people don't think about the long-term effects of that. I mean, I always say that OnlyFans is to the marriage market as a criminal record is to the jobs market. It becomes more difficult to attract a long-term partner if you've been on OnlyFans or if you've had any kind of involvement in the sex industry. It's not like you can never find a partner, but it just becomes much more difficult because a lot of men will find that deeply unappealing in a potential wife. And so maybe you're making some initial cash, probably not, but you're running very serious long-term risks in terms of your future relationships, and also in terms of things like what if photos get sent to your employer or to your family or your children or your grandchildren run across these in the future? I mean, the risks of embarrassment and sadness are so high for so little reward. But I think that it's a very good argument for why having social guardrails is a good thing, because in the past, no respectable woman would think of doing something like OnlyFans, being involved in the sex industry. I mean, the OnlyFans is worse than just prostitution because there's a permanent record of it. So the reputational risk is more enduring than in other ways that you can be involved in the sex industry in the past. No respectable woman would do such a thing because she would be so worried about running afoul of local opinion and of ruining her reputation. And I completely recognize that local opinion can be tyrannical, and falling afoul of, the local church ladies was a very serious and frightening thing for people because they could be very cruel. But the reason that exists, that the reason that you have these local enforcement of Christian moral ideas is precisely to prevent this sort of thing happening, to prevent young women from giving in to their vanity and their impulsivity and making decisions that potentially wreck their lives. And I think a functional society just wouldn't permit OnlyFans to exist.